now.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Richard from MLB Baseball Blogs, joined here with Tim from the Cash Killing AC Sports Report, along with Justin, the creator and owner of MLB Baseball Blogs. What's going on, guys?
Nothing. Happy to be talking baseball, finishing off with the defending world champion San Francisco Giants.
Me too, man. I've been dying to get this done for a long time so we can start talking some prediction on our awards on whatever's going to be going on. So let's talk about the pitching rotation. This is the part 1 video where we talk about the pitching. Then we'll go on to part 2, which is the hitting. Tim Lincecum last season, this guy had a struggling second half of the season. He had over a 500 record. He was 16-10 with a 3.43 ERA and 212 innings pitched. Tim, is this guy gonna win 20 wins this season?
I could see it. I'm not gonna say he's gonna win. He's more of a 17-win type guy because he'll lose some games and because the Giants' offense still isn't like a great offense. I think looking at him now, I could see this guy winning 17, maybe pushing 18 games, but he's a for sure Cy Young candidate.
Richard, what do you got on Tim Lincecum?
Yeah, I like Tim Lincecum a lot. What's not to like? Devastating pitcher as far as like curveball goes. 20 win capable. I don't see 20 wins. 17 or 18 in that ballpark. He's definitely, like I said, has the stuff to be a 20 win pitcher, but I just don't see it this year with the run support.
Yeah, I like Tim Lincecum. I saw him pitch, I think, once when I went to this Giants spring training. He's looking pretty good, but his last outing, I think, was yesterday against the Reds. Did not do too well, but hell, it's spring training. Everybody, pretty much sucks a little bit at spring training. Going into the number 2 spot, Matt Cain. This guy last season was 13-11 with a 3.14 ERA and 223 innings pitched. Guys, is this guy going to be a future Cy Young within the next maybe 5-7 years, maybe somewhere around there?
You know, it's possible he has the talent. He's not going to be the annual type Cy Young candidate, but if he could put together one really good year, I could see it. I don't see it this year, though. I mean, I see him going about 14 to 16 wins, somewhere in that area, and about 8 losses with an ERA around 3.20 or so.
Yeah, Matt Cain in the next, would you say 3 to how many years he could probably win a Cy Young?
5 to 7 years, somewhere around there.
Well, he's already, I think he's 27, so he's in the middle of his prime right now. He's definitely a lot better than his record indicated from last year, 13-11, 3.14 ERA. He's a workhorse, as you can see. That's really nice to have a nice 2-guy who can soak up 220-plus innings, a nice low ERA. He has the stuff to win a Cy Young, definitely, but I see more of a 15-win season with maybe a 3.22 ERA. But Matt Cain is definitely a solid number 2 guy in this Giants rotation.
Yeah, I mean, I like Matt Cain. He's also a great pitcher to have in this rotation. Going on to the number 3 guy, I have a lot of questions. I mean, it could be Jonathan Sanchez, it could be Madison Bumgarner, and it could also be Barry Zito. Will Barry Zito's be their number 5 starter, but I'd have to go with number 3 would be Jonathan Sanchez. Guys, is Jonathan Sanchez the future of the squad as pitching goes?
He's one of the pitchers on this team that if he can figure it out, he could be a piece. But I mean, they're all young. I mean, Lincecum's got, I believe, 2 years left on his contract there. Cain just signed a 3-year extension. So, I mean, they got a few guys locked up at the top for a few more years. Madison Bumgarner's only 22. So Sanchez is a nice piece. I mean, the key thing for him is not getting flustered. If you can get this guy off of his game, it's not too hard to beat him.
Yeah, Jonathan Sanchez having a solid spring this past spring training. Well, still currently spring training, but going 2-0 with a 1.23 ERA over 14 2/3 innings. Nice season last year. Didn't get a lot of wins. 13-9 record with a 3.07 ERA, 193 and 1/3 innings. I like Sanchez a lot. This could be a number 3 guy, potentially throwing 200 innings. I could see the ERA going up a little bit, maybe to a 3.15. He's definitely 15-win capable, but I think he's going to have another 13 and maybe 13-8, 13-9 season with a 3.15 ERA with 200-plus innings pitched. A nice, solid 3 guy.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, Richard. I mean, 13 or 12 games is going to be his range this season, and about 8 or 9 losses this season. I have to say his ERA is going to bump up a few points, but other than that, he's going to be a pretty decent pitcher. On to their number 4 starter, we got Madison Bumgarner. This guy is really young, really talented. 7-6 last season with a 3 ERA and 111 innings pitched. Tim, what do you guys have on Madison Bumgarner?
Well, he's young, and he has, like all these pitchers in this rotation, a ton of talent. I mean, a few guys at the top of that rotation have met their talent already. Madison Bumgarner is a case where if you can come up in your rookie year and do that well, you could really be a guy who could be an ace in the future, and I think I see that out of him. He was pretty solid in the playoffs last year. I like Madison Bumgarner. I mean, to have this guy as your number 4 starter makes you one of the better rotations in baseball.
Yeah, Madison Bumgarner, he only started 18 games last season, so a 7-6 record based upon the Giants' run production isn't a bad record at all with that low 3 ERA. 111 innings pitched over 18 games started. That's an average of about 6 1/3 innings. That's really good for a number 4 guy. If he starts 32 games this season, I could see him going up into the 170, 180, 180 innings category. Again, another really good inning soaker for a Giants team whose bullpen is I'd say average. The starting rotation is what carries this team. Madison Bumgarner, a really young guy. This can be a really dominating starting rotation for years to come.
Yeah, Madison Bumgarner is pretty much. I have him at number 4 too. I mean, Bumgarner is going to have a decent season this year. I have him winning about maybe 9 or 10 games, maybe losing at least 6 or 7. He's still pretty young, so would you think that's a good fit right there with the win-loss record?
Yeah, somewhere in that area.
Yeah, I'd say about a 10-6 record. Yeah, 10-6.
All right, and on to this number 5 pitcher. A lot of these guys are saying that Zito is going to leave the Giants hopefully at the end of spring or something like that, or he's going to get traded at the deadline. Is that going to happen with this number 5 starter?
No, because no one wants his contract. I mean, it's as simple as that, really. I mean, this guy, his contract is just too big. He has not even come close to living up to it. He's been a mess, really, his entire time with the Giants.
I mean, Barry Zito, former Cy Young winner with the A's, he had a pretty good spring. 2-1 record with a 2.49 ERA. He has a lot of really good games. Looking back in September, he had some really solid games against Milwaukee, where he threw 6 solid innings. I mean, he's a solid 5th guy. He's soaked up. He can soak up some innings as a number 5 guy. Soaked up almost 200 innings last year. Another 200 innings guy in this rotation. When you can have 5 guys that can potentially pitch 200 innings, that is incredible to have.
Yeah.
But I don't see him getting traded. Like Tim said, the contract, nobody wants it. I don't see him getting traded.
Is he gone at the end of the season?
His contract's up. He should be gone.
Yeah, he should be gone, or he'll sign a reduced contract, but I see him gone.
Alright, so that's your pitching rotation. Let's talk about this bullpen. I mean, you have everybody's most likely favorite closer, maybe some of you guys. Brian Wilson, the cool with the black beard. Guys, what do you guys like on Brian Wilson? What is he going to do this season, and is he going to be a beast? I don't know how to pronounce it, so how well do you think he's going to do?
Honestly, I love Brian Wilson. I mean, I'm a Phillies fan. He ended our season. I don't know how this guy plays. I love that. The way he interviews is just funny. I love Wilson, basically. I think looking at this, he's probably going to be one of the better closers in baseball again. And I think, if this guy's on this pace, he could go to the best of all time. Now, the things to watch are, I think you need to just make sure he can stay healthy for this team, keep that ERA down, and continue pitching how he's done, because he's done a great job.
I think we had a little bit of technical difficulties there with Tim, but basically he's going to say what I'm about to say. He's going to be He's going to be a dominant closer again this year. He might start the season on the DL, but he's still going to have another 40-plus save season. I like Brian Wilson a lot. It's hard not to like the guy.
Yeah, I like Brian Wilson. Like I said, he has an awesome beard. I think he's going to have a great season. I think he's going to have maybe another 42 saves. So expect a lot out of him. Who else is in their bullpen that catches your eye?
Well, I got to get Jeremy Affeldt from the left side is this pitcher, and Sergio Romo, they both got down past year or so.
Again, more technical difficulties. We'll get those worked out, though. But he did say Jeremy Affeldt, and he is the guy that does kind of stick out. Also, Sergio Romo, Javi Lopez. This rotation, like I said earlier when we were covering the rotation, isn't a very deep bullpen. And like I said, 200-inning guys, 200-inning guys is really nice to have considering the bullpen. The bullpen's kind of getting older. I like Jeremy Affeldt and Sergio Romo. This bullpen's just average, but when it's headed by Brian Wilson, I mean, it's a decent bullpen, but it's not anything to brag about.
Yeah. I kind of like their bullpen too. You got Santiago Casilla, you got Jeremy Affeldt, and you also got the man Brian Wilson in there, Javier Lopez, guys like that. But other than that, this team is pretty much the same team as last year, except they just acquired Miguel Tejada, which was their only key arrival this upcoming season. They lost a couple key players. No player except Chris Ray. That guy didn't really pitch in the majors last season. He was down in AAA. That was their only key loss that came out of their pitching. But other than that, this team has took a big fall. They don't have Edgar Renteria anymore. No more Juan Uribe. No more Jose Guillen, who got tested positive for steroid use. But other than that, this is the end of part 1 of the pitching of the San Francisco Giants. Stay tuned for part 2 with the hitting. Can this team with the same bat except Miguel Tejada, who's going to be replacing Juan Uribe, can this team make a rerun at the World Series? We'll predict that in the next part. I'll talk to you guys later. That's Richard. That's Tim. I'm Justin, and we'll talk to you guys soon.